Hello everyone, this is Abhay Kumar from Department of CSE IT Kanpur, India. Today I'm going to present my paper titled Topology Validator, a Defense Against Topology Poisoning Attack in SDN. This is going to be outline of my presentation today, and we will have quick introduction about software defined network and link discovery in software defined network. We will again we will go quickly through two important link discovery attacks, that is injection attack and the relay attack. So relay attack is the attack for which we have proposed the solution. We will talk about the proposed solution, the implementation, we'll talk about the environment using which I have done the implementation. We will have the result and analysis followed by conclusion in the last. So getting started with introduction to software defined network. So here we have two different networks. So network architecture, we say one is traditional network and another is software defined network. So in traditional network we can see that each of the network device, say switches, routers, they have both control and data plane contained within themselves. However, in software defined network we can say that okay, these are the switches, so we have only data planes. However, the control plane is completely separate from the data plane. We can see another new plane, application plane, and again we can see that the controller is able to talk to data plane using the southbound APIs, and it can talk to application plane using the northbound API. Coming to what the control plane is and what the data plane is. Control plane is mostly software. It's like it's software who does tasks like finding the route, learning the topology, and other similar steps. However, the job of data plane is like data planes are most hardware, so they just forward the packets as instructed by the control plane on the using the network fabric to different places. Going next, the working of link discovery service in SDN. So this has this topology has one controller and two switches. So here port number 1 connects to some host, port number 2 connects to some host, port number 3 connects to switch S2 using port number 1. Port 2 and port 3 again on this switch S2 connects to some host. So to learn the topology of the network, what controller does is that at regular interval it sends out LDP packet messages. Okay, so the packet sent by controller is generally a type of packet called packet out messages. So packet out is actually a generic term over here. So it's the LDP messages that are being sent. So we can see that okay, the three arrow, each arrow corresponds to one packet, one LDP packet that has been sent to this open flow switch S1. So each packet are similar in type, except it has two unique identities. So one unique identity is the DPID, that is the identification of the switch, and again the port ID, that is identification of the port on that particular switch. So controller here we can see that okay, there are three arrows, that is three messages. However, generalizing it, it will be equal to the number of active ports on one particular switch. So again we will see that okay, the three messages it is sending to switch S1, similar messages will be sent to switch S2 as well. So let's say three messages, so one message will be forwarded to port S1, as it is connecting to some host, it will get ignored. Port 2, some host, again ignored, but the packet that will be sent to port number 3 will reach S2 via port number 1. Once it reaches S2, it will forward it back to the controller. Now controller will think that okay, the packet it had sent to port number 3 on S1 is being received by port number 1 on S2. So there must be a link between S1 and S2 involving port 3 on S1 and the port 1 on the S2, right? So this is a link discovered. So again it will be a unidirectional link, but similarly a packet will be sent to S2 for port 1 will reach S1 via port 3 and will get back to the controller. So controller will again see that okay, there is another unidirectional link between S2 and S1 involving port number 1 and 3. So these links become bidirectional. So this is how link discovery actually happens in this SDN. This is first category of attack, injection based attack. So in injection based attack, we first assume that okay, there is one attacker, 3 switches, and the very simple topology, 1 controller. So here we assume that okay, LDP packet being sent in every round has all fields same except the DPI and the PID, right? So the time a packet will be received by host H1, it will create a LDP packet with DPID S3 and the PID2 and push it to the switch S1, and S1 will forward it to the controller. So the controller will assume that okay, there is a link between port number 2 on S3 and port number 1 on S1. However, there is no real link. So this is one way to create a fake link. But if we restrict our assumptions like that, okay, apart from DPID and the PID, we have another unique field, and so in that case, this attacker H1 will not be able to frame this packet because it doesn't know that particular unique into that LDP packet that that switch S3 port that is being received by a machine connected to port number 2 on S3. So if we in that case, this attack will not work, right? So the next category of attack is relay based attack. So this attack is what this attack is for what my problem my solution is. So here what happens is that there are 2 attackers now compared to 1 attacker in the last scenario. So what happens here is that this on receiving LLDP broadcast from controller, this host S3 sends it to relays it to host H1 using the existing link, right? So and after this host H1 receives the relayed packet, it will push into the switch S1, and of course S1 will forward it to the controller. So a controller will assume that okay, there is a link between S3 and S1 involving port S2 and involving port 2 and 1. However, there is no link. So this attack is attacker will be able to create a ghost link over here, a fake link here. So multiple solutions have been proposed for this particular category of attack, but in my exhaustive survey, I couldn't find a solution which was able to prevent this attack with a complete fully with no false positive or false negative cases. So when we will analyze that okay, what is a real challenge in preventing this discovery, this relay based link discovery attack. So it's like this switch is unable to identify if a packet, LDP packet, is coming from a port which connects to some host, or a port which connects to some switch. So ideally the LDP packet shouldn't come from a host. So if switch could know that okay, this particular port is actually connected to some host, it will simply ignore it, and this relay based link discovery attack will never be possible. But again, it's it's very tough to know for a switch that okay, how whether the port to which it is connecting to other device, if it is a switch or if it is a host. So my intuition was to find some way for a switch to decide that okay, if a particular port is connecting to some host or some switch. So this was my experimental observation. So this is the topology, the first figure, the controller, 2 switches, and the host S1. The second figure says that okay, if in the experimental topology, when I put this link off, a port status change message was sent to the controller, right? How so when we switch off a link between a switch and the host, one port status change message is being sent to the controller. However, when we switch off the link between two switches, the two port status change messages are being sent to the controller. One is this from this switch, another is from this switch. So this is actually this actually forms the basis of my solution. So before getting into the algorithm, just we will just see that, okay, how in Floodlight, the controller which I have used for doing the implementation represents a port, right? So there are multiple parameters, but our interest will mainly be in the config parameter and the state parameter. So the config parameter in detailed is here, the state parameter in detailed is here. So again, out of these all, we will have interest only in the port down stuff and the link down stuff. So the config descriptor is actually sent by controller to the switches to config a particular port. However, state descriptor is actually used by switches to report status of a port to controller, right? So going to the algorithm. So while a new link is discovered, do the following. Controller sends OFPT port config to any of the participating switch with a port down message set to 1. So this will actually just make the port down, right? We will see in the illustration in the next slide. So OFPT port state with OFPT port down set to 1 is generated by both involved ports. So the both will if the link is connecting to two switches, so ideally there should be two port status messages being sent to the controller. However, if it is connected to some host, it will receive one. So let's see this experimental topology. So if we assume that now that, okay, an attacker is trying to make a link between this host 5 and host 1 by relaying it, right? So now as soon as this new link will be discovered, this will not be incorporated immediately. What will happen is that this controller randomly will choose from 1 to 2 and send a port down message to 2, right? So this port down message will actually will result in one port status change message from the S3, right? But this port status change message will not be received from the 1, right? Because if the port status change message, if host 5 would like to relay to the H1, it will not be able to, because this is now disconnected from the network, right? So this will be because there is only one port status change message received at the controller, it will learn that, okay, this is an attack attempt. Now let's consider a real case. Just assume that, okay, we just put a physical wire between 1 and 2, right? So if we randomly switch off any of this switch port, there will be two port status change messages being sent from one from S1 and another from S2 to the controller, right? So this will indicate that, okay, no, the link is actually a physical link, it's not a ghost link, right? So we implemented this using Floodlight as controller. We used open virtual switches and we use Mininet as controller. And this is the Floodlight console output. Okay, there are a lot of stuffs here and it's a bit tough to explain them because we have a limited time here. So going to the result analysis, so we did 10 attempts and we observed that, okay, the total delay, because we will be doing disruptive thing, that, okay, we are sending port down messages that is actually turning into status messages being sent to the controller, and then the controller is analyzing it and then making it a decision. So we found that, okay, there was a delay of 3.3 seconds. Other two parameters, one more parameters, we evaluated our this implementation, that effect on the availability of the existing topology. So there was no effect on the existing topology, because all we are doing is with a new new link. Coming to the conclusion, our solution was able to prevent relay based topology poisoning attack. There was an overhead of 3.3 seconds, and the most important part is that we don't have any false positive or false negative cases. So that's all for this presentation. Thank you for listening. Questions if any.